the other potential with the strategy, in actual fact, what we're doing here is we're going to choose number one goal out of each of those 4 quadrants. And we're going to then set a smaller goal or task, if you like, that you're going to do for the 90 days. So once you've done 90 days of that goal, there's that potential to do another 16 goals for the year. My maths being right.
4, 4, 16. Yeah, that makes sense.
Spot on. Good job. Okay. So how good would it be knowing that you've actually completed 16 goals per year?
It would be good considering a lot of the times you go through the year and don't complete one.
So what I want you to do is, when you've got that first goal in one of these 4 categories, from your 1 year list or even your 5 year list, but you break it down to the 1 year list, or even from, it doesn't really matter which list it is, we're going to break it right down and choose that goal and write it out somewhere completely different.
So do we need a book for these types of things so that we've got them with easy access, or just a piece of paper?
We'll send out the 6 points afterwards, because at this point I don't think people would have worked out those goals finitely.
So let's look at an example then. So if we've taken, we've got a 1 year goal, and we're on a physical side of things. So it might be that we're going to run, say, 10 kilometres a week by the end of 12 months.
Yep. So what, at the end of our 12 months? Yeah. Okay. So how might you like to, so let's say that's for a year. That's what we want to get to, running 10Ks a week by the end of the year. That's your goal. Let's break that down into four quarters for starters. And then we want to know, so let's break that goal down. By the end of that first quarter, which is 90 days, what am I going to be doing towards getting to 10Ks a week?
I might have to go and buy some running shoes.
Okay, so it's going to take you 90 days to get some running shoes. That's a really easy goal. You are going to be so rewarded for that goal. You might want to throw a few other challenges in there as well, just to make it really motivating.
So I might have actually had to run.
So it's up to the individual to work that out. So work out in 4 areas across the year, break it down, what you're going to do in the first 90 days, second 90 days, third 90 days, and obviously fourth 90 days.
So if I want to do 10 kilometres a week in a year, and I'm breaking it down to 90 days, and say that's for a quarter of that, so I want to do 2.5 kilometres a week in that first 90 days.
Perfect.
And then if I break that down to, so it's 90 days, so every day I'd have to do my maths, but then I'd have to work out how much I'm going to do a day to make sure that I can achieve that.
If you have to do it daily, that might just be a weekly goal, and you can do, you might be able to nail a run, a 2.5k run once a week, and that'll be it. You're already there.
Yeah.
And
cool.
That's okay. So break that down even more if you need to. So that's something that the individual works out. Of course, where there's help if you need it.
Yeah, which would depend on my role as a mother or boss or whatever, on what time of the day I'd do it, and that it fits in my values list. So I'd have to assume that I'm expecting to be healthy next year.
Yeah, so and because that's your you've chosen the number 1 out of those initial quadrants, and this is the one out of the physical, you would have made sure you've ticked off your role list and your values list so that it can be at that number 1 position in the first place.
Okay, so if I said if I had value as health, or say I had value as fitness at number 10 of my list, and yet I'd put it as number 1 on the physical quadrant, that's where my problem's going to be. Or should I say where my problem has been? Because it's not high enough on my values list.
Where a solution needs to be found.
Yep, so either I'm not being true to my values, or I'm being unrealistic about my goals.
Correct. This is like a bit of a yardstick. It keeps you on the straight and narrow. It's a cross-check so that everything's congruent.
Cool.
So
okay.
it's great. It's a great technique. So right, so that's what we do next is you're right, we break it into a month, a week, or a day, whatever works for you. Then this is step number 3. We actually write down those individual tasks in a planner or on a whiteboard or in your smartphone. And this step's a biggie because it's a step that most people skip. They leave it on their goal list. It's there, but by writing this task down in the planner, you're actually actioning them. Just the simple act of writing them, the subconscious mind starts thinking, oh my goodness, she is really going to do this. So a good example as well of taking action steps so that you actually action these goals is Glenys Nunn was actually asked once how she just copes with her running regime, so we're talking about running, and what she does every night when she gets into bed is puts her running shoes right where she treads on them when she wakes up, so that the first thing she does is puts her feet straight into those running shoes. So there's no time for that. Those subconscious thoughts start filtering in saying, oh, it's too cold and I don't want to do this and so on. So it's about actioning them.
Yeah, make it easy for yourself.
Yeah. Yep. So step number 4. We need to check in once a week or twice a week to ensure that there's some forward progress and adjust it if necessary. So they're really simple steps, aren't they?
They are, but a week goes very quickly, doesn't it? And sometimes you put off, I'll do that tomorrow, and you say, then there's a week gone past.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So it depends how serious you are about your goal list. I can't be the answer or the judge to that.
Yeah.
So step 5, reward yourself. So remember to celebrate your little milestones and victories. You so need to keep a sense of humour and have fun along the way. So work out how you're going to reward yourself beforehand. There's two parts to this. Work out, firstly, how you want to reward yourself beforehand. So some set-up rewards. And then for some of them, be spontaneous and surprise yourself. Don't set the reward, but on the day when you achieve that goal, say to yourself, how am I going to reward myself for this right here, right now? So it's great to have, it's like having a birthday present and you know what you're getting. It's not as rewarding. All right, at the end of the week I'm going to take myself out for coffee because I've achieved that goal. It's not as exciting as if it's a spontaneous one. Okay, so you can do a bit of both.
Okay, cool.
But do take the reward. So as far as I'm concerned with my clients, I do not tick off the goal until the reward's been actioned. And it's not negotiable.
That's a good idea. So they're accountable for rewarding as well as for doing.
Yep. And there's a whole seminar or a whole webinar, if you like, on rewards in itself. So I won't go into that in detail. But it's very important for motivating you to move forward and keeping that feel-good drug happening in your brain. So that's it in a nutshell. So step 6 is you don't have to do it alone. Ask for help if you get stuck. Because remember, this coagulated stuckness will repeat over and over, and you can expect the same results at the end of next year if you don't clear these blockages. Okay, so
it's a bit like, I suppose, getting back to the running thing. A friend of mine knew she had to get healthy and fitter, and if she sort of had spent more time with me who doesn't run, I'd have made excuses and made her feel better about not going on a run, for example, because it wasn't my motivation, it's not high up on my values list. But luckily she's got another friend who loves running, so she helped motivate her, and now that she's got that sort of accountability buddy as well, that made a huge difference. And now she's doing a lot of kilometres a day. It's amazing.
And the thing there as well is, if for some reason she's not achieving those goals, by having a coach or someone in the know as to why she's not, if it's Rachel with her, there's not going to be any help there around the running. She's going to say, yeah, I'm with you, let's go have a coffee.
Yeah, the coach would have said, change the person you go out with in the morning.
Either that or change that physical activity. Clearly running is not exciting you, perhaps.
Yeah, it would have to be running to the coffee shop for me.
Say that again, Rachel.
For me, it would have to be running to the coffee shop.
Yeah, I can see that. Full of milk. Full of milk on the way back. Do it on the way there. Okay, so yeah, nothing will increase the likelihood of actually reaching your goals more quickly and easier, or more easily, than if you've got someone else holding you accountable. So buddy up with someone or hire a coach.
Well, that's it, because sometimes you don't often know somebody who's, we don't currently know somebody who's going to be aligned with that particular strategy. So, as you say, I think it helps sometimes when you can have somebody who's totally independent, somebody who's not involved, emotionally, or part of your friends or family, with some of those areas. So I think it is a really good idea to have somebody independent. And you can do that, can't you? Now, we did, last time we, on that first webinar, we did offer that if somebody wanted help with getting some clarity on and how they can finish off for 2012 before they started to set their goals for 2013, because we've confirmed that we really need to do that. We've got to get all of that stuff and clutter out the way before we can start again. And we offered, you were kind enough to do a 30-minute strategy session or 30-minute declutter session. Can you do the same for strategy? Like if somebody hasn't taken you up on that, can they use that 30 minutes now to help them with the strategy session?
Yes, that's great. That'll be absolutely okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. Oh, that would be lovely, because I think, sometimes you just need that bit of clarity from an external perspective. That's what I found when I did that 2 hours with you. It really made a difference to get my thoughts into gear. Even though, John and I talk about a lot of this stuff, sometimes you just don't see behind the scenes. You just see what you want somebody else to see at the front. And it's not until you actually accept yourself that there's some other issues still going on that you hadn't dealt with. So I think that'd be great.
And that's
fantastic.
Great. And the other thing is you can spend all this time and money and energy being, for example, a course junkie, or any areas of your life. You can spend so much time and money, and yet people don't focus on these really important other areas that would actually help them across the board. So,
well, it's a bit like the cause and effect, isn't it? I know from experience that people will go to a lot of events sometimes, as you say, they get caught up in the fact that, this is inspiring and they want to do what other people have done. But if you don't address the core issues that have stopped you doing it before, then it doesn't matter how much money you spend, you still might not get there. So I understand completely that you sometimes have to go back to, as you say, sort of that subconscious level and say, well, okay, I've done this, I've done that, I've got the information, I've got the education, why am I not putting it to good use? And it's that sort of area, isn't it, that you really need to overcome.
Yeah. So make it balanced, make it all round. Go to your seminars, but also go to your head, go to your subconscious mind and get that sorted as well.
Head and heart, isn't it? It goes together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Unfortunately, a lot of us work just with our heads.
We do. And you think that's right?
And not with our heart.
That's right. That's right. Part of those limiting beliefs sometimes, isn't it? And being a very left-brain person, it does sometimes have to be hit over the head myself with things before I'll accept that it's something within me that needs to change. So it was really enlightening to spend that time with you. Thank you so much for spending this webinar with us again and giving us a lot more information. So the first webinar, I just got to say, you've got to go back and do that if you haven't done it, in relation to decluttering, so that you're prepared to do the 2013 goals. If you didn't take Denise up on the 30-minute free consultation, then do it now, because now you've got the opportunity with the current information we've just gone through, which is about how you can set your goals for 2013, and specifically those 4, that exercise we've just done, or that you will do now, the 4 goals in 90 days by going through your 4 different quadrants. Make sure in their priority, checking it off to your values and your roles, your time, and then making sure from that you've got 4 balanced goals to go through with for the next 90 days. And if you think you're going to have any trouble with that, or you want any help at all, you've got that 30-minute strategy session with Denise. All you need to do is send an email to NYNM, which is short for New Year, New Me, NYNM at rachelbarnes.com.au. Remember, if you want Denise to ring you, you've got to tell her your telephone number and give your name so that she speaks to the right person when she calls. So send that through. Denise will get that, and then she'll be able to help you for 30 minutes to get you started, or to give you some insight into what the blockages may be that you'd need to overcome. And let me tell you, I've spent a couple of hours and it was really worthwhile, but you'll get a free 30 minutes. No obligation, is there, Denise?
No. The ball's in your court to take action. I don't bite, I'm not scary, so.
That's good. And there's no cost for that. So make sure you go for what you can get out, because you might find that 30 minutes could make a big, huge change to the 2013 goals that you're going to be setting, to make sure they're aligned with you and that you're going to achieve them. And what's your goal, Denise? Have you got a goal for 2013 that you want to share with us? How many people are you going to help this year? Or next year?
Yes, indeed. I have got numerous goals which I'm working on and fine-tuning as we speak. So that I do that yearly between Christmas and the New Year. I go back, I revisit all my values, I revisit all my roles, I check in with what's going on the feelings level. In fact, I do those first. I go into those subconscious, non-tangible type areas, and then I align up my conscious goals, my physical doing goals. So once I've done that, I can share with you those goals that I intend to do over the next 12 months, and you guys can all hold me accountable as well.
That means we'll have to talk to you again. What else can we take out of you? We'll make sure that we get even more from you. And it's been really great talking to you, Denise, and especially some of the information that you're providing. So I know previously you provided those 6 conscious steps or questions that you have to ask yourself. The SMART goals, you've provided that for us to go through. There's 2 different exercises. One was on the first webinar and this webinar secondly. Was there anything that I've missed that we're providing or have provided? I think that's it.
We'll run back through. We'll give all those really good questions as well, that right from the first webinar. That will help you with those 6 points.
And not forgetting the 30 minutes. Yeah, that's the other thing that you're giving. So yeah, thank you so much for that. All right, and if anybody's got any questions even, feel free to use that same email address, nynm@rachelbarnes.com.au. Don't forget your telephone number and your email address. Your first name. That'd be great. Thanks again, Denise. Have a fantastic 2013. I know it's going to be a really lucky year. I had that real feeling. My feelings are really good because I feel more in tune now that my goals are going to be aligned to my roles and my values.
So it's actually going to be intentional luck.
It always is. There's no such thing, I don't think, as pure luck. It's all intentional. And what you need to do is prepare yourself for that. And that includes your mind and your behaviours. All good. All right, thank you so much, and we'll probably talk to you again soon. Thank you.
You're terrific. All the best.
Bye.